First of all, I'm not Andrew Phillips. Andrew Phillips is a colleague of mine. My name is Joris De Winne. I'm actually originally from Belgium, live in the Netherlands, so work for a Dutch company which is actually officially based in the US now, recently, which has offices in Paris, also in Croatia, India, and of course also in Boston. And I'm gonna, in 15 minutes, gonna tell you something or give you 10 tips about continuous delivery. Let's kick off with tip number 1, is you must go for an agile organization. Doesn't really matter to me if you go for Scrum, Kanban, or some other lean kind of thing. That's like a prerequisite. You must be agile. If you're still having waterfall methodologies, there's no chance that you will succeed in applying continuous delivery. Yeah. Number 2, fast feedback is key. You all know the release cycles of the big companies like the bank companies, and you have the idea, where you start from the idea, and it takes around 3 months to 6 months or longer before the idea becomes into production. It's actually, you have no clue anymore, because after 6 months, the world might have totally changed. Your idea might not be valid anymore. So actually, the moment that you have an idea from the left, it has to go into the production as fast as possible. Meaning, in a matter of hours, not in a matter of months. You have to do like Facebook and release 50 times a day. One tip that we see coming back a lot with continuous delivery is it has to do with testing. First of all, you have to automate all your tests. So not only unit testing, you need unit testing, of course, it's obvious, yeah, but also all your functional testing, acceptance testing, and even performance testing, scalability testing, security testing. Those these days can all be automated. So you have to automate them, and you actually can even apply things like A/B testing. Set out a feature developed in one way, give it to group A, set out another one, give it to group B, see how we actually respond, and based on the response that you get from the public, you actually act on that and put it to the grand big public. Something like Facebook is doing typically in New Zealand. It tends to be that New Zealand is the country where there's the most diversity of people from different regions and different people over there. So that's like the best region to actually set out your feature and just test how the people respond to it. Yeah. This is actually a survey that we created, and if we asked actually what's the biggest bottleneck for your organization to move towards continuous delivery. And the response there was actually this one: testing is incomplete and manual. That's what's holding people back. Well, there are so many tools around there. Of course, you have JUnit and TestNG, but you also have Cucumber, Finesse, etc. You have Green Pepper. All those tools are out there, so you can just start using them. Tip number 4, focus on your business. If you're in the financial world and you're making financial applications, there's no reason to make your own deployment application. There's no reason to make your own provisioning application. There's no reason to create your own scripts to deploy something. There are plenty of tools out there. You can see here a list of all tools that have to do some in another way with continuous delivery. Start using them. If they don't fit your need, throw them away. Pick another one. If you see the list, for example, about testing tools, you know, it's endless. It keeps on and on and on and on. So if it doesn't fit your need, just pick another one and continue. Try to improve, try to go faster. And cool stuff, don't forget cloud solutions. Recently we had a talk with a potential new customer of us, which is, let me say, it's in the porn industry. It's like we were like, oh, porn industry, that customer, scary. Yeah. They came in and like the first thing they said, yeah, we are having big problems because, yeah, we need to provide those big loads, streaming loads. Sorry, yeah, that's the case. Yeah, we need to provide the big loads. Yeah, and if you want to test that, we can't handle that through our own hardware that we're currently having. What they did is they just went to the Google Cloud. That's their testing platform now. So you can use Google, Amazon, any cloud platform that you actually want to use. One tip that's coming back always, if it hurts, just do it more often. Until you're so pissed of it that you actually don't want to do it anymore. The conclusion on this one is automate everything that you can. Yeah. You all know the WebLogic consoles or the WebSphere consoles where you actually have to click through to actually do your deployment of your ear file, which takes you like a couple of minutes. Yeah, you can all automate these things. You all know these Word documents that describe regression testing. You can automate these things. Put them in Cucumber. And if you're moving towards continuous delivery, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to forget about things. Things are not going to work out as expected. Yeah. Learn from them, embrace those failures, yeah, and try to improve. One thing we had, for example, is we brought up a site, we brought it live, we did almost everything automated except the scaling part. We didn't automatically upscale and downscale. And the moment the big event started, actually the website went down. Afterwards, we figured out it was just a network connection. So we had almost everything automated, continuous integration, the deployment, almost everything. But in the end, yeah, we forgot about the network, the bandwidth. Damn it. Yeah, so you're going to make mistakes. Learn from them. Learn from the mistakes. Try to do it better the next time. This is maybe the most important one. It isn't a silver bullet. It's very hard to do continuous delivery. If you're doing it, you will be struggling a lot. And you can't just go out there and say to some vendor, yeah, I'm just here, I will pay you that amount of money, give me continuous delivery. Continuous delivery, it isn't a tool. It's a mindset, a way of doing things. Continuous delivery typically tends to be like continuous improvement. Every day you wake up and you try to think of, what am I going to improve today? Am I going to improve my test automation, my continuous integration system, my provisioning system, my Puppet, my Chef, my Salt stack? What am I going to improve today to make it even better? Transparency, inspect, and adapt is actually coming from the Agile world, more from Scrum, and it relies back also on trying to improve. It means that you have to monitor everything within your organization, what is possible to monitor. A big retailer I've been with for 6 months, where I implemented a lot of their continuous integration stack, they actually had these big screens. I'm looking for a screen like, I think, almost the size of this chameleon over here. Yeah. And they had these big screens at the entrance where the employers just entered every morning, during lunch, and in the evening. And the big screen displayed the status of all environments, from development up till production, the status of all applications, whether they were running or not, status of continuous integration builds, and the status of all test results. So when you paused that in the morning and you saw like on the right you had the production part, if that was red, you could skip the coffee and go to work. If everything was green, take a coffee, take it easy. I have been there a couple of times, it was just red. You could skip the coffee because everybody was working on that. Yeah. Regarding the continuous integration, they were so transparent with that organization, within the organization, they were so transparent, they had so much trust in each other that they even displayed the names of the people who failed the build. It was on the screen, so your name could be on the screen. You have broken the build. It was not like, hey, you have done it. No, it was not. It was just there like, oh, he might have broken the build. Let me go over him and let's ask, hey, can I help you? That's what's happened. So we can actually continue and move faster. Some of you already have gotten these. It's on our booth. You can just get a copy or an electronic copy. Yeah, indeed, it involves the whole organization. It's not just about developers or operations. It's also about marketing, legal people, Facebook updating its privacy status, the rules about that, and suddenly you have to roll back everything. Yeah, so you have to involve legal in your continuous delivery pipeline. You have to involve marketing. If you release a new product or a new version, you have to send out the Twitter messages. So it actually involves really the whole organization, everyone. Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell this to developers because, yeah, they tend to be interested in all those new things. It's kind of even more harder to tell this to legal people. The last one is actually a question. What are you going to do tomorrow? I told you it's a mindset. I try to get up every day and think of what I'm going to improve today. What I'm going to make better today. Sometimes it's just about a slide deck that I have and I say, oh shit, I should have done better. I can show you what I'm going to try to do better. It's coming later on. Get 4 minutes left. These are some other ones. So you will get the slides afterwards. You can read them afterwards also, if you want. And these are my details, if you're interested. I can tell you what I'm going to improve, or try to improve today, is actually the font size of this one. It's not good enough. That's my improvement of today. Yesterday it were a bunch of screenshots with very low resolution that I didn't like. That's it. You guys have any questions? Silence. Come on, guys, we have 4 minutes left, or you're all hungry or something like that. I guess so. I had lunch before, so sorry. No questions?
You said that you have to involve the whole organization, so do you have some ideas, quick ideas for this from the developer perspective?
Yeah. So the question is, are there any ideas or tips to involve the whole organization from developer perspective? It's a bit like, I sometimes compare continuous delivery with introducing Agile. Yeah. Agile, Scrum has come into companies, in many cases from the developers on, that actually were interested in Agile and wanted to work in a Scrum way, having daily Scrums and sprints and things like that. Yeah. And what we've seen over time is that in the end, to make Agile work, you need a commitment from higher management to actually support it. Continuous delivery is exactly the same. Yeah. It might start from developers' perspective, but in the end, you will face bottlenecks regarding maybe operations or maybe your marketing department. So you will need the commitment. You will have to stand to your manager and say, look, we need a commitment, and we need actually to give the manager that one book, and he has to start reading it, and then he has to start reading the big one, yeah, until you actually go there. Yeah. If regarding timing, it typically costs the same amount of time to become really continuous delivery company if you compare that to Agile. So it's a matter of years, actually, in most cases. I see somebody on the back waving.
What if the situation is that you have a kind of in-house development and you do not have a care of the client? And you said that continuous delivery is a kind of mindset. So how this mindset would help in such an organization which do not have a pressure from client clearly, that they are delivering for themselves and not clearly there's a client or notion of client.
I don't know. Is the question that you want to compare continuous delivery with how you want to work together with your client?
No, the question is that how such a mindset of continuous delivery can help in a situation when you have an in-house development or you are developing a tool for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, it can certainly help even for in-house development because you will send out those features much faster. Yeah. Which means that your people that you are developing this for will benefit from that also much faster. Yeah. They will be more happy, more satisfaction, more quality. You will be more in control if you're aiming towards this. Okay. 1 minute, so probably one last question if somebody has.
Sorry, very quick question. Do you have specific tool? The ZB Labs have a specific tool as part of the...
Yeah, we have.
Right.
Yeah. It's not part of the presentation, yeah, but we have tools. We are focusing on deployment automation. We are focusing on release management, test orchestration, and we also focus on scaling out different environments, even in the cloud. Yeah, it's not a part of the presentation. We try to differentiate from existing things, but we embrace also the existing things like Puppet, Chef, Jenkins. Yeah, we try to integrate with those a lot. Time's up. Thank you for attendance.